my lord.
To whom did you give the report?
My lord, I gave the scientific medical report to Mr. Onyum Christopher Okello.
And after that event, did anything else occur in respect of your client?
No, my lord.
Eventually, did anything else occur in respect of the work that you had done on him?
Well, recently, CK IHK got a police request basing on one of their exhibits. That was a report written by me, so they wanted the hospital administration to verify that, number one, it was a report written by me. Also to verify that it is their headed paper and it's their stamp.
Yes.
My lord, when that happened, the hospital administrators reached me to verify if the said report was actually mine.
What did you verify?
My lord, I verified that the report was actually mine. After that, my lord, the hospital administration, through our CEO, wrote back to police concerning the same.
Why is it the CEO that replied the police request?
My lord, it is a policy of the hospital that any external request should be handled at administration level, not at the doctor's level.
Before your admin sent out the reply, were you required to do anything in respect of the report that you had authored?
My lord, after verifying that was actually my report, I countersigned it
Are you in position to identify a reply from your facility, the sanitary report that you countersigned, and the police request that you are referring to?
Yes, my lord.
How would you identify?
Okay, that is, he can identify the police request,
Yes, my lord.
the sanitary report, and the reply.
Yes, my lord.
How would you identify the police report?
My lord,
The police request, sorry.
my lord, the police request has their logo on it, headed paper, and they had been signed by Madame, I think Madame Chelimo, if I remember very well.
About your sanitary report?
My sanitary report identified it by my signature, a CK IHK stamp, and it being on the CK IHK logo.
And the letter forwarding your sanitary report?
My lord, this letter too had the CK IHK logo. It had RCO signature, Azasundo is his name, Azasundo. That also been stamped.
CEO is called who?
Azasundu.
Can you help me spell that?
A Z H A R, then Sundo, S U N D double O.
Let's have the interpretation.
Nti yakebera omuvunaanibwa era n'akola report eyo n'agiwa mwami Okello nti oluvannyuma ennaku eziiseeko emabega eddwaliro erya IHK International Hospital Kampala yafuna ebbaluwa nga basinzidde ku bizibiti bye baali balina abapoliisi ne abapoliisi baasaba nga bagamba nti okusinziira ku bizibiti bye baali balina waliwo ripooti omusawo ono gye yali awandiise ate nga baagala eddwaliro likakase nti oba ye ripooti eyo omusawo ono gye yali akoze era bakakase oba olupapula lwe baali bawandiiseeko lwali lwa ddwaliro ne sitampu y'eddwaliro. Oluvannyuma abakulu b'eddwaliro bamutuukirira okukakasa oba ripooti eyo yali yiye era n'akakasa nti eyo ripooti ye yagiwandiika. Oluvannyuma abakulira mukulu w'eddwaliro n'awandiikira poliisi ng'abategeeza ku nsonga ezo nti mu ddwaliro eryo bwe baba nga bawandiika omukulu waabwe yawandiika so si dokita. Bwe yamala okukakasa nti ripooti yayiye yasaako omukono gwe nti bwe baba bagimulaze ripooti eyo ne request n'ebbaluwa gye bazaayo ku poliisi asobola kubitegeera. N'agamba ebbaluwa yali esaba okukakasa yaliko akabonero ka poliisi ng'eriko eri ku lupapula abapoliisi gwe bawandiikako ebbaluwa zaabwe nti ate omupoliisi gwe bayita madamu Kyerimo eyali agisayininze. Mu ripooti ye asobola kulabako omukono gwe n'alaba olupapula n'alaba stampu ya Psychiatric International Hospital Kampala n'alabako n'akabonero ka Psychiatric International Hospital Kampala. Ku bbaluwa eyali gye bali baddamu abapoliisi era agamba nti bw'agiraba agijjukirira ku kabonero aka Psychiatric International Hospital Kampala nti ate ne siginicha ya mukama waabwe gwe bayita Aza Sundu.
Please look at the document and tell court if you are in position to recognize it.
My Lord, I recognize the documents.
What are they?
Among the documents, my Lord,
Okay, you can begin by the first one, the
The
second,
first
and the third. The first one, what is the first one?
yeah, the first one is a reply from CK IHK. By our CEO, Mr. Azasundu. It was for the response to the
Dated?
request
Is it
for the
dated?
information. Yeah, it was dated the 10th April 2026.
What was the subject?
The subject was a response to request for information vide Ggaba.
Ggaba, does it quote the police reference?
My Lord, yes. Should I read out the response?
Yes.
Okay.
CRB what?
The CRB 026 stroke 2026 in brackets ref CID stroke C40 stroke 207 volume 44.
In short, what was your CEO forwarding?
My Lord, my CEO confirmed that the sanitary medical report that had been dated 30th December 2025 in respect to Mr. Onyum Christopher Okello was duly issued by International Hospital Kampala Limited, and also confirmed that was authored and signed by myself, Dr. Genda Rogers, a psychiatrist. In my capacity as their medical practitioner,
Okay, so it had been authored and signed by yourself.
yes.
Mm.
In my capacity as a medical practitioner at the facility.
Okay.
My Lord,
Okay. About the second document.
Okay. My Lord, the second document is my sanitary report I wrote. It was dated 30th December 2025.
And the third document.
My Lord, the third document is the police request for information to support investigations at Ggaba, CRB 026/2026.
Is it dated?
My Lord, this request was dated the 9th of April 2026.
Let's allow interpretation.
Ntasobola kutegeera ebiwandiiko ebisatu bye bamuwadde. Ekisooka kya mukama we kye yawandiikira abapoliisi ng'addamu okusaba kwabwe. Mukama we bamuyita Mwami Aza Sundu nga yagiwandiika ng'ennaku z'omwezi 10 Ogwokuna 2026 nti ebbaluwa eyo yali eddamu okusaba kw'abapoliisi mu musango ogwa Ggaba enamba 26 kasale 2026. Mukama waabwe yali awandiika kukakasa nti ripooti eyo eddwaliro erya International Hospital Kampala eryali lyagiwandiika nga 3 Ogwekumi 2025 nga baali bagiwandiikira Okello Christopher ng'ate yali akakasa nti omusawo ono ye yagiwandiika n'ateekako omukono gwe ng'omusawo yali akolera ku ddwaliro eryo. Ekiwandiiko ekyokubiri gye bayita sanitary report oba ebbaluwa eraga nti omuntu yali ategeera bulungi era bagiwandiika nga 3 omwezi Ogwekumi 2025. Ekiwandiiko ekyokusatu kyekyo poliisi kye yawandiikira eddwaliro nga basaba okufuna nga banoonyereza ku musango ogwa Ggaba enamba 2026 kasale 2026 nga bagiwandiika nga 9 Ogwokuna 2026.
Yes, Mr. Morgan, you proceed.
So, Doctor, let's go to the report that you authored.
Yes, my Lord.
When did you author the report?
My Lord, I wrote the report on the 30th December 2025.
And who was your client?
My Lord, my client was Mr. Onyum, Christopher Okello.
What other particulars did you take for Mr. Okello?
My Lord, I noted that Mr. Christopher Okello was a 38-year-old male. He was residing in Bunga. My Lord,
Doctor, where did you get that? What was the source of that personal information that you took about your client?
my Lord, Mr. Yum Christopher came to see me personally, so I took all the information from him alone.
So you say he told you he was a resident of Bunga. What else?
Mr. Yum, my Lord, told me that you were single, not married. He was a Christian by religion. And at that time,
Doctor, we are writing.
oh, sorry, my Lord.
And at that time?
And that time, he had a plan to settle in Uganda and start commercial farming.
Yes. What else?
My Lord, basing on his formal request of the sanitary report, I carried out a psychiatric interview on him.
Carried out a psychiatric interview. Yes.
I also carried out, after that, a mental state examination.
Let's allow interpretation.
agamba ripoota ye yagiwandiika nga 3 mwezi gwe12 2025 nti ate omulwadde we baali bamuyita Christopher Okello Onyum. N'agamba nti omulwadde we yali alina emyaka 38 egy'obukulu nga musajja nga yali abeera Bunga, nti ebyo omwami Christopher ye yabimugamba era n'amugamba nti yali tali mufumbo nga mugoberezi wa Kristo, nti ate akaseera ako yali ayagala kutandika kubeera mu Uganda nga akola bizinesi y'obulimi oba okulunda, nti era okusinziira nti yali asabye okukola ripooti okulaba nti omutwe gwe gwali guteredde oba gukola bulungi, yagezaako okwogeramu naye alabe omutwe gwe oba gwali gukola bulungi oba nedda, oluvannyuma n'amukebera okulaba oba obwongo bwe bwali bukola bulungi oba nedda.
Doctor, what does this psychiatric examination entail?
My Lord, a psychiatric interview entails asking the client many times open-ended questions the interview, the interview entails asking various psychiatric conditions, psychiatric questions, sorry, with the aim of...
Doctor, I have that it entails asking the client many times open-ended questions. That's where I stopped.
Yes, psychiatric questions with the aim of trying to enlist if this client has any mental disorder.
So in this case, what did you do?
My Lord, upon asking him those questions, Mr. Onyum told me the following. Mr. Onyum told me that he has no history of having excessive sadness. He has no history.
Let's go through, doctor, as I advised.
Doctor, is that all that on your report or?
Yes, my Lord.
Okay.
Should I continue, my Lord, with the same? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No history of excessive sadness.
He had no history of loss of interest in pleasurable activities.
Sorry, kindly repeat that. He had no history of having excessive sadness.
Yes, my Lord. He had no history of loss of interest in pleasurable activities.
Yes.
My Lord, he also had no history of excessive fears or excessive worries. He had no history of worries, yes.
I shall be prompting you.
Okay.
No history of excessive fears.
Or worries,
Worries.
yes.
Yes.
He had no history of excessive happiness or increase in goal-directed activities. Increase in goal-directed activities.
Okay. If I may pause a little there.
For interpretation first.
Okay.
Nti okumukebera obwongo nti bamubuuza ebibuuzo bingi nti ebimu bamubuuza okulaba nti oba omutwe gwe gukola bulungi oba nedda nti musango guno ng'amaze okumubuuza ebibuuzo ebyo bye bababuuza yamugamba bino yamugamba nti yali tafunangako okunyiiga okusukkiridde era nti teyafunangako okubeerawo nga takyayagala kwetaba mu bintu ebyessanyu nti era yali talina okubeerawo ng'awulira atidde nnyo nnyo oba yeeraliikiridde nnyo nti era teyalina ekiraga nti yali asanyuka nnyo oba okubeerawo ng'ayagala kukola ebintu ebisukkiridde.
Doctor, why were these questions important in your professional assessment of your client?
My Lord, these questions help us to establish various mental disorders, if any, in any client that comes before us.
Okay.
Continue. My Lord, he had no history of...
Just a minute. How do they help you? The court would want to know why, for example, you focus on excessive sadness or interest in pleasurable activities, or excessive fears and worries, or excessive happiness, or excessive goal-oriented activities. Why is this particular direction important to you as a profession in determining or detecting mental disorders?
My Lord, these questions are key to the various mental disorders. For example,
Mental disorders. Yes.
when I ask a client if you had history of excessive sadness or loss of interest in pleasurable activities,
Yes.
I'm trying to elicit if you have depression.
Okay.
If I ask about fears, excessive fears, or excessive worries, I'm trying to elicit if you have an anxiety disorder.
Yes.
The question I asked about excessive happiness or increase in goal-directed activities, I am trying to elicit if the client has bipolar affective disorder. Okay.
What? Sorry?
Has bipolar affective disorder.
Affective.
Affective disorder.
Okay. So other than that, what else did he reveal to you? Or did you ask him?
My Lord, he also told me that he has no history of hearing voices, or seeing things other people could not see. when I ask that, my Lord, I'm trying to elicit if you have hallucinations.
Okay.
My Lord, he also told me that he has no history of using illicit drugs like cannabis. However, you occasionally use alcohol. My Lord, that helps me to elicit if someone has a substance use disorder.
Yes.
He also told me that he has no history of having had any traumatic experience in his life. That is a question that can help me elicit if someone has what we call PTSD.
If somebody has
PTSD,
which is
post-traumatic stress disorder.
proceed.
My Lord, the client told me that I was the first mental health personnel he has ever seen in his life.
What did he say?
He told me that I was the first, this was the first visit to a mental health personnel in his life.
And how did you reflect that in your report?
Pardon?
How did you reflect that in your report?
If I get what you're saying,
Yeah, what did you write? How did you report that information in your report?
this is the index visit to a mental health personnel.
What? Index visit?
Yeah, index visit, the first visit to a mental health personnel, my Lord. And that he had never taken any psychiatric medications.
He had never taken any?
Psychiatric medication, my Lord.
What else?
My Lord, the client disclosed that was a patient of a chronic medical condition, sickle cell disease, and that he was regularly taking medication for that purpose.
Anything else?
Yes, my lord. Mr. Onyum told me that he was the third born of 4 children, that his parents are alive and they are well. He also told me that there was no history of any mental illness in their family.
Okay. Let's allow interpretation.
Agambye nti ebibuuzo bye babuuza abalwadde abajja mu ddwaliro lyabwe bya nkizo nnyo okusobola okutegeera bulwadde ki bw'omuntu bw'alina ku bwongo bwe. Okugezesa bw'abuuza nti wali obaddeko awo n'owulira ng'onakuwadde nnyo n'owulira nga tokyayagala kwetaba mu bintu eby'essanyu, aba agezaako okulaba omuntu oba alina obulwadde bwa depression oba okubeera ng'omuntu munakuwavu buli kaseera. Bw'abuuza nti oba omuntu abeera awo n'awulira ng'atidde nnyo oba yeeraliikiridde nnyo, aba ayagala kulaba oba alina obulwadde obw'okweraliikirira nnyo oba anxiety disorders. Nti era bw'abuuza oba omuntu abadde nga abaawo n'abeera nga musanyufu nnyo oba nayagala kukola ebintu ebisukkiridde, aba ayagala kulaba oba omuntu oyo alina obulwadde obunene obukosa obwongo ate nga bulwawo okuwona, obwe bayita bipolar affective disorder. Era yamugamba nti yali talaba bintu oba kuwulira ebintu abalala bye batawulira, n'agamba era yali takozesa biragalalagala ng'enjaga oba ebirala. Naye n'agamba nti obw'olumu yali anywa ku mwenge, nti okulaba nti oba era ebyo byonna bimubuuza okulaba oba yali alina obuzibu nga buva mu kukozesa ebiragalagala. Nti era yamugamba nti yali tafunangako okuyisibwa bubi oba trauma, era bw'aba amubuuza ebyo aba ayagala kulaba oba yali afunnyeko okuyisibwa bubi ate ne kimukosa, kye bayita post traumatic stress disorder. Nti era yamugamba nti gwali mulundi gwe gwali gusookera ddala okulaba omusawo w'obwongo mu bulamu bwe, era n'agamba nti tanywangako eddagala erikwata ku bulwadde bwonna obw'obwongo, naye n'amugamba nti yali alina obulwadde bwa nalubiri oba sickle cell, nti ate yali ali ku ddagala ly'obulwadde obwo. Era yamugamba nti waka yowakusatu mu baana abana, nti abazadde be bakyaliwo ate bali bulungi, nti ate mu kika kyonna talinayo gw'amanyi nga alina obulwadde bw'obwongo.
So, Doctor, apart from what your client disclosed to you in the interview, did you proceed to carry out your independent mental examination on him?
My lord, I proceeded to carry out a mental state examination.
Yes.
My lord, from this examination, I noted that Mr. Onyum Christopher was a middle-aged man. He looked kempt.
Was a
middle-aged man. He was kempt and was well nourished.
Every morning, I unlock my doors to new possibilities.
What do you
And
consider
was
to
well nourished.
take care of somebody well nourished? Just for the record. In your medical
I unlock my doors to new
profession.
possibilities.
My Lord,
What do you consider to
well nourished. He looked healthy, I could say.
take care of somebody well
He never appeared sick in any way, physically. That time I saw him. My Lord, he looked healthy, I could say.
You say he was well nourished.
He never appeared sick in any way, physically.
Proceed.
That time, my Lord, I noted that he was calm. He kept eye contact.
Well nourished.
He never appeared sick in any way, physically.
Proceed.
And he had, my Lord, I noted that he was calm. No odd behaviors.
No.
Odd. He kept eye contact. Behavior of any sort. And he had, my Lord,
Why is this?
I noted that he was
Why was
no
this
odd
important
behavior.
for you to observe? No.
Odd. He kept eye contact. Behavior. My Lord, of any sort. Odd behaviors. And he had, they help us to know if this person could be acting. Odd behaviors, they help us to know if that this person could be acting under the influence of probably voices, is hearing in his head, or could be seeing things. They help us to know that this person could be acting others could see of probably voices, is hearing in his head. Yes. Or could be seeing things.
Interpretation, please.
nti bwe yamala okumugamba ebyo naye yongerayo n'okumukebera obwongo era mu kukebera n'alaba nti yali musajja akuze ng'alabika bulungi ate nga talina bulwadde okusinziira bwe yamulaba yali mukakamu ate ng'omuntu bw'aba ayogera asigala ng'amutunuulidde yali talina enneeyisa eyali teri ya bulijjo kino kituyamba okumanya oba omuntu yali akola byonna bye yali akola nga awulira amaloboozi oba okulaba ebintu abantu abalala bye baali tebalaba ate ng'omuntu bw'aba ayogera asigala ng'amutunuulidde yali talina enneeyisa
My Lord,
ya bulijjo kino kituyamba
I
okumanya
also noted that
byonna bye yali akola
his speech
awulira amaloboozi
was coherent.
abantu abalala bye baali tebalaba
It was of normal rate. It was of normal volume. And it was of normal tone. Noted that his speech was coherent. I noted it was of normal rate. That his mood was of normal volume, was euphonic, and it was of normal tone.
You noted that
His mood,
before the mood.
I noted,
I'm interested in you following the report
okay,
in the order it appears.
that his mood, okay,
Yes. After the speech.
okay, euphonic, my Lord, I noted
That
his mood, that his thoughts were logical. I noted,
I'm interested in you following the report
okay,
in the order it
with no preoccupations.
after the speech.
Okay. My Lord, I noted no overvalued ideas, and no delusions, with no preoccupations. My Lord, no overvalued ideas. He had
Okay. No overvalued ideas and no.
delusions, my Lord. Delusions. With no preoccupations.
Yes.
My Lord, he had euthanic mood.
He had
He had euthanic mood,
Yes and no.
EUTHYMIC. That's what we call basically a normal mood.
yes.
This was congruent with affect. That means they match.
Congruent first.
Congruent with affect.
Could you please spell that word? CONGRUENT.
Which means, which was
Congruent with affect.
with affect, meaning
Meaning that both the mood and the affect are in agreement.
yes.
Doctor, would you help us understand what affect means?
Affect, for example, is your current emotions. For example, if I look at you, your facial expression, I can tell that you are sad or you are happy. That is affect. While mood is a sustained emotion over a certain period of time.
Mood is what? While mood is a sustained
emotion or feelings over a certain period of time.
Yes. From affect.
My Lord, Mr. Onyum had no perceptual disturbances. And he also had no cognitive disturbances.
I'm still going to ask you to help court appreciate what you mean by perceptual and cognitive disturbances.
My Lord, perceptual disturbances are in line with if you are having abnormal sensations, like for example, you are hearing voices, others are not hearing them. You are seeing things.
Let's go slow, doctor. For example, hearing.
You are hearing voices, others are not hearing them. You are seeing things, others are not seeing. Why cognitive disturbances? There we are looking at your memory. You are looking at your attention span. Your concentration. Your general knowledge of what's happening around you. Your ability to judge the situations well around you. Your ability to do basic mathematics.
Ability to do
basic mathematics. And if you are able to tell the time or the year we are in, or even to tell who you are as a person.
Good morning, Maggie.
Again, doctor, why is this particular assessment in your mental health examination about these aspects of perceptual and cognitive perceptions, or rather disturbances?
My Lord, from a mental state examination, as a professional,
from a mental state
examination, as a professional, I will be able to conclude whether someone has a mental illness or not at the time.
Yes, proceed with your findings.
My Lord,
maybe before you do, it might be too much for interpretation. Let's allow the interpretation.
Yalaba nga yali ayogera nga bulijjo nga talina buzibu, era yalaba nga yali alowooza bulungi nga talina bimutawaanya mu mutwe, era n'agamba nti embeera ze zaali ng'eza bulijjo, nti ate embeera ze nga bwe zaali era bwe wamulabanga n'omanya nti embeera ze ne bwali nga kye kimu, nti era n'akinyonyola n'agamba nti ye ng'omusawo asobola okukulaba n'agamba nti oba oli munakuwavu oba oli musanyufu, nti ate okulaba nti mood oba okulaba embeera z'olimu akwekebeja okumala ekiseera n'amanya nti embeera zo ziri bwe ziti. Nti mwami Okello bwe yamukebera yasanga nga yali talina ebimutawaanya mu mutwe ng'okulaba oba okuwulira abantu abalala bye batalaba, nti ate yali ajjukira bulungi ebintu bye yali amanyi ng'asobola kutunuulira ekintu kimu n'abisigala ku kintu kimu nga tawankawanka, nti ate n'okumanya ebintu ebimwetoolodde oba ebigenda mu maaso, n'amanya okwawula ebintu ebyali kumpi naye, nti ate ng'asobola kugattamu n'okwawula, nti yali asobola kwogera essaawa zaali mmeka oba mwaka ki gwe tulimu, oba n'okugamba nti nze gundi. Ng'omusawo bw'aba akebera obwongo kiba kimuyamba okulaba oba okugamba nti omuntu alina obulwadde bw'obwongo oba tabulina ku kaseera ako.
Doctor, proceed.
My Lord, basing on the psychiatric interview, plus my personal mental state examination at the time he presented to me, I established that Mr. Onyum Christopher had no established mental disorder. My Lord,
First interpret that.
Nti okusinziira bwe yayogera ne mwami Onyum Christopher nti ate n'okumukebera kwe yamukolako yakakasa nti mwami Onyum Christopher yali talina bulwadde bwa bwongo bwonna.
Yes.
my Lord, I therefore affirmed that time that Mr. Onyum Christopher was sane and mentally fit to live and work in Uganda.
Did you sign off the report?
Yes, my Lord, I signed the report.
Was it stamped then?
Yes, my Lord.
What was the date of signing or stamping?
My Lord, I signed it on that very day, 30th December 2026.
2020?
2025, sorry. And the stamp was of the same date.
N'olwekyo akakasa nti akaseera ako Onyum lwe yagendera mu ddwaliro lyabwe yali talina bulwadde bwa bwongo bwonna ate nga tali mulalu era nga yali mulamu bulungi okusobola kukola mu Uganda ate n'okubeeramu n'asayininga n'ateekako sitampu n'ateekako ennaku z'omwezi 3 ogw'Ekumi 2025.
You have earlier told court that the forwarding letter was
kooti n'akatagga
authored
n'atuuka
by your
n'okugisabayo
executive
okunaku
director.
agende yeewummuliremu
Yes, my Lord.
Mr.
n'atuuka n'okugisabayoko
Asa.
ku nsimbi enkalu.
Yes, my Lord.
How did you know it was authored by him?
My Lord, I received a copy of this reply to the police.
From? Other than the fact of a copy being given to you, what else makes you sure that this letter was issued rather authored by your executive director?
My Lord, I'm sure, because this letter was on CCare headed paper. It was stamped with a CCare stamp and signed by the CEO.
Are you familiar with, were you familiar with the signing of your CEO?
My Lord, I'm not familiar with his signature.
My Lord, I pray to tender the report. And together as with the forwarding letter and the request letter, my Lord, the request letter being, the request letter, we pray that it is admitted as a PID, but the forwarding and the forwarding letter and the report admitted as exhibits.
agambye nti ebbaluwa mukama we gwe bayita mwami Aza ye yagiwandiika era oluvannyuma ne bamuwaako kopi eyo y'ebbaluwa gye baali bawandiikira abapoliisi nga babaddamu era nti mukama waabwe yagiwandiika nga bagiwandiika ku lupapula lw'eddwaliro eryo lya Sikeya ne bateekamu ne sitampu yaabwe oyasayininga ye mukama waabwe. Agamba takakasa mukono gwa mukama we era ne basaba nti ebbaluwa gye omukama we gye yawandiika bagikirize ow'ekitiibwa agirabeko agyekeneenye ripooti n'ebbaluwa eyali n'ebbaluwa gye bawandiika nga basaba nga baddamu poliisi babikirize ng'ebizibiti eby'oludda oluwaabi.
Who is making a reply? Is it you, Mr. Kumbuga?
My Lord, no objection.
Okay, the certified copy of the sanity report for Mr. Onyum Christopher Okello, dated 30th December 2025 and authored by Dr. Agenda Christopher of Psychiatric IHK, is hereby admitted as an exhibit, and it is marked PEX 8A. PEX 8A. And the letter authored by Azar Sundu, the CEO of International Hospital, Kampala, trading as C-Care IHK, dated 10th April 2026, addressed the Deputy Director of Criminal Investigation, CID Headquarters, confirming the sanity report to have been authored by Dr. Agenda Rogers, who is witness number 12, a psychiatrist at the facility, which attached a certified copy of the sanity report that was dated 30th December 2025, is also admitted, and it is marked as PEX 8B. A police request which was dated 9th April 2026 and authored by SCP Shelimo Biata to the hospital administrator, CK International Hospital, Kampala, is admitted for identification, and it is marked PEID 6.
Copy jebakakasa nti eya report jebakakasa nti omusawo ono ali wano mu Dr. Agenda yagiwandiika nga 3 omwezi gwe 12 2025 bagikiriza ng'ekizibiti ekyomunaana A era ebbaluwa omukulu w'eddwaliro erya Care International Hospital Kampala gwe bayita Aza Sundu gye yawandiika nga 10 ogwokuna 2026 ng'awandiikira poliisi okukakasa nti ripooti omusawo ono yagiwandiika naye bagikiriza ng'ekizibiti ekyomunaana ba ebbaluwa poliisi gye yawandiika ng'omupoliisi gwe bayita SCP Kyerimo yagiwandiika nga 9 ogwokuna 2026 ng'agiwandiikira eddwaliro okukakasa ripooti kooti egyekanyiza era n'egiwa ennamba gye tuyita PEID ey'omukaaga.
My Lord, that's all from the witness.
Mr. Kumbuga, how much time will you take with Dr. Agenda? If you're taking a lot of time, I would have requested that we proposed that we take a short health break, but depends on how much time you want to stay with him. A short health break. Okay. In that case, let's come back at 2 p.m.
Tukomawo ssaawa 8.
But green. I know that it was